Welcome everyone to our lesson on Tilt and live streaming. So we are going to use Tilt as a lens to teach you on this, just because it is our recommended platform of choice, as well as Whatnot as well. They're both on the same type of platform. Instagram and TikTok, we don't really recommend you use when you're starting out. However, if you want to get more involved with our later courses and the Patreon, we will teach you more about how to take full control of your live streaming business and continue with selling on the live streaming platforms. Now, as an introduction, live streaming, it's a very engaging method for reselling products, especially clothing. Tilt specializes in clothing. Whatnot really specializes in Pokemon cards, a lot of other niche things like that. However, they do have a good follower base for clothing. Now, within this lesson, we will we will teach you a little bit about live streaming, the history behind live streaming, and essentially set the stage for deeper learning in terms of selling on these platforms and creating a live streaming business for selling your product. Now, what is the history of live streaming? We're going to give you a brief history. So, the origins are rooted in television, shopping channels, infomercials. And if you were a little bit younger like me, you probably won't remember growing up watching these. However, I've been told by people who are older than me that within the 90s and things like that, a lot of people were watching shopping channels, infomercials, things like that. It was very popular. So it was kind of deep rooted within that. However, digital technology such as social media, Instagram, TikTok especially, it's really transformed it from TV to being accessible on everyone's smart device and live broadcasting. Popular platforms, as mentioned, Tilt, Whatnot, Facebook Live, Instagram Live, TikTok Live, they're all really, really good platforms and they all have very heavy viewership every single day. Now, what are the benefits on selling on live streaming platforms? Now, it offers real-time engagement. Now, what does that mean exactly? Real-time engagement is when you are providing a service, you are live streaming, but people are watching you in real time and providing feedback in real time. Now, this gives you a one-to-one interaction or 1 to 20 interaction really with these potential customers. This builds a lot of trust. This means that you're authentic in yourself. Your unfiltered live video, if you're telling people about your day, things like that, there's no harm in that. People like that. People want to know a little bit more about your life, right? And this creates an authentic and genuine sales experience. People really, really miss that. There's platforms online, Depop, eBay, they're great, but you're missing out on this genuine sales experience one-to-one that you can only get on, shop floors, etc., or a live streaming. It really does emulate that to some extent, and people miss that. With AI coming about, personal shoppers and AI bot doing personal shopping, you're really missing that one-to-one experience, and live streaming is great for that. Now, there's a great reach on live streaming platforms. You have a large and diverse audience on platforms with a very, very global reach. It's a lot, anyone can log on around the world onto a Tilt Whatnot streams and watch you. They may not be able to buy things, but you'll be able to have a real-time, charismatic influence on these people, and that's amazing. Now, instant feedback is great. So what do you mean by instant feedback? Is that you can get immediate feedback from these buyers. For example, let's say, your audio is rubbish. Let's just say for argument's sake, buyers will say in the chat, Reselling Revolution, your audio is crap. Okay, what do you do? Quickly, okay, let's get the microphone on, let's test our audio. Bam, within a few minutes, you're sorted. Now, buyers after that won't complain about the same issue if it's fixed. Quick live feedback, it can be about anything. It can be about maybe where you're standing, positioning, whether they want you to talk a certain way. You listen to your buyers' feedback right away and you can implement it right away. And that overall leads to long-term growth because you're providing a greater service, a better service in live streaming. Now, one thing about live streaming platforms is that you are providing an entertainment value. So what do we mean by that? Is that, for example, if you're telling people about your day, you're telling people about a particular item, for example, let's say we grab this cap over here. It's a good thing that we have items lying around. You can talk more about this cap, talk about how it was made, people care about that, the colors, different ways of wearing it, all sorts of different things. That provides a entertainment value. People are entertained and people will watch your stream. They will drop you a follow, and later on, even if they're not ready to buy that day, when they do have money, when it's payday, they will come back to you and spend their money with you because you're a charismatic individual. You're making them laugh. You're having fun with them. It's overall a lot more fun per hour than, let's say, standing in front of a photo, like photographing items, if that makes sense. Now, It's not all ponies and rainbows. There are some drawbacks of selling on these live streaming platforms. One thing is technical challenges. It requires a stable internet connection and quality equipment. Now, the stable internet connection we already mentioned before. Good Wi-Fi, it's a must. If your Wi-Fi is rubbish, if you're cracking up, people are gonna leave, you're not gonna make any money. It's that. However, if you have a bit of a worse internet connection, you can make do with it on other platforms, because eventually it will upload. It just won't upload as quickly. I mean, uploading your listings onto Vinted, Depop, eBay, these kind of things. But with live streaming platforms, you do need a good internet connection because, like I said, you have that real-time feedback, that real-time engagement. It is quite time consuming planning these streams as well. Prepping all of the items, getting them all ready like we have over here, planning what you're going to do, planning what you're going to sell, creating your covers, posting that online, posting on social media, all that kind of thing. And most of all, speaking for 2 to 4 hours in a stream non-stop like I am right now with good engagement, it's really, really draining, guys. You're going to get a dry mouth, you're going to get thirsty, you're going to get probably hungry at the end of it. You need to present yourself in a certain way, you need to act in a certain way on the stream to get that real-time buyer engagement, and that is really draining, guys. But again, it does pay off. Again, you have some sort of limited control of yourself. You're very reliant on an algorithm, just like you are in the different platforms. Will Tilt, will Whatnot rank you higher, or will they rank you all the way to the bottom of the list? That's up to them. Um, it really is up to them, less so than if you have a pre-made algorithm, for example, on Vinted and all that kind of thing. If you have good photos, good descriptions, you'll rank a little bit higher. Now, one thing about these platforms is, especially Tilt, that's very new, they have a lot of technical issues. For example, the app sometimes crashes, all that kind of thing. If you're reliant on another platform's software to not crash and things like that, that's one downside of having an online business, is that you are reliant on these other platforms to have good software and things like that. And again, that can lead to negative viewer interactions if the software is not up to scratch on their end. So you don't have as much control. Now, how do you succeed in selling clothing on live streaming platforms? You must know your audience, understand your demographic, and tailor your content and products accordingly. Create compelling content. Now, create content, create TikToks, create Instagram, and plan engaging streams, and create these pieces of information and pieces of entertainment with a storytelling method. We'll mention this more in the upcoming courses, and showcase your products accordingly. Being successful on these platforms, you must interact with viewers, engage with them in real time. If someone's making a joke in the chat, laugh at it, make your own jokes, things like that. This doesn't come with something. We can't teach you this on this course. This comes with experience and comes with charisma, comes with you being a salesperson at heart. Not everyone is cut out for it, but many people are. Offer exclusive deals. One amazing thing about these platforms is that you can decrease your prices in real time because it's all verbal. And that's amazing because you can react to things a lot quicker than you can with online platforms. It's a lot fast paced. You can get your money in one day, in and out, gone, send it off, done. It's great with that. Promote your streams. That's another really good way of being successful with live streaming. Use social media. I cannot stress this enough. Instagram, TikTok, it's free to use. It's free to post on there. Why not, guys? Use it. Engage with your customers. It's absolutely incredible. Again, continuous improvement. Buyers will mention what they don't like. Buyers will mention what they do like. Analyze your streams, gather feedback, and refine your strategies for better results. Now, again, to go on a bit of a different note, now we've mentioned more about, theoretical ways of doing it. Now, what are some real tangible, easy ways? Now, a phone stand. I cannot recommend this more enough. We're filming this course using a phone stand, the same one that we use. It only costs us £10, $10 on Amazon. We'll put the link in the description for that. Invest in a phone stand, keeps your phone stable, keeps it in one position. You can just keep the phone there while going about selling all your products, talking to the buyers, this and that. It's great. Avoids you from fumbling around, leading, oh God, my, phone fell over, all that kind of thing. It'll stop you from doing that. The best £10, best $10 that you will ever spend. Again, link is in the description. So in conclusion, guys, what are the different opportunities and challenges? As mentioned, It offers a unique way of selling clothing, a charismatic way of selling clothing, a real one-to-one experience of buyers. It really is an experience. It's not just shopping to buy goods. It's a viewership experience that people really, really appreciate when you've got bots and AI bots that do all your shopping for you nowadays. It's something that you simply cannot replace, that human to human interaction. Does that make sense? If you're seeing me selling, you're going to appreciate that a lot more. With the right strategies, you can effectively leverage this. So if you're charismatic, if you're strategic in the way that you're selling these goods, you can reach a global audience. Now, again, this comes with experience, but we can provide you a lot more tips in the upcoming courses, excuse me. We'll delve deeper into live streaming as the number one method for reselling.